Oh.
We're rolling.
Okay, rude.
Hey guys, so I haven't really announced it to you, but I know a lot of you watch my main channel videos as well. But if you don't, in case you didn't know, I moved. This is my new bedroom. This is my new roommate too, so hello.
Hey, I'm the infamous John Michael that she talks about when she does American Horror Story reviews.
Yeah, he loves American Horror Story, so I was thinking that he should come and appear with me sometimes on the channel and review horror things, because he loves horror almost as much as I do. So today we're going to be talking about Krampus, which was a recent release in theaters, and it's a Christmas horror movie, which we haven't had one of those in who knows how long.
Since Black Christmas, probably?
Since Black, yeah, probably. And that was really old. So I'm glad that they released a new Christmas horror, because I love that genre, because as a horror lover, I'm also a Christmas lover, and it's great when they are combined into one movie, and I can make it a Christmas tradition to watch Christmas horror films instead of the usual, but I still watch the usual. Anyway, so this is about a tale, I believe a German tale, of Krampus, who is the shadow of Santa Claus.
Yeah, and so basically Krampus is the opposite of Santa, where you are punished by him, I guess.
Yeah,
you get
when
punished.
you let the spirit of Christmas go, or you don't understand
appreciate
the real meaning of Christmas. We are going to do spoilers, and I will alert you guys before we start talking about the end and stuff, but I know a lot of you have seen it and want my opinion on it, so I don't want to take that away from you. I want you to know what our whole thought is about, including the ending, so we'll let you know though.
Also from the same directors of Trick or Treat.
Yes.
Which, that's just really cool because they're both holiday themed films, but on the horror side, obviously Trick or Treat is more of like horrific and Halloween and stuff like that, but it was really cool. The Christmas aspect.
Get out of the hallway! That's kind of the main plot. It's about a family who gets together for Christmas, and the son is like, why do we even hang out with them? Like, we don't even like them, because they're these relatives that are kind of redneck and just are totally different from the other side of the family.
And then some stuff goes down, and the youngest son of the first family kind of just totally gets out of the Christmas spirit and decides that he doesn't believe in Santa Claus anymore because his cousins are like teasing him because he does, and so when he does that, Krampus comes.
The first scene that you actually see Krampus is probably one of the best scenes in the whole movie.
In the snow, right?
Yeah.
That was
on the houses.
I was like, oh my gosh.
It was horrifying, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I will say it was kind of disappointing from there on out as far as the amount that we see Krampus. I kind of wanted it to be more of an idea than a thing that they show all the time, but they showed it a lot, kind of like in Mama. And that's what I would say, is that this isn't really all that scary. So if you are sensitive to horror related things, then this one would probably be pretty easy for you, but there are some eerie aspects to it.
And it's rated PG-13, and so that like kind of tones it down as well. It's not like bloody and gory. Like I went and watched it with my mom, which never happens. My mom hates scary movies.
How'd she feel about it?
She was like, why do you have me watching these weird movies for? And I was, because in the beginning, it's so different. Like, it looks like a typical holiday family kind of movie, so it's kind of funny. And I was waiting for something to happen, and then when that first scene happened, when the girl's, like, out in the snow, my mom's, like, looks at me just like this. But she watched the whole thing, and she didn't not like it. My mom does not like anything scary or horror-related or anything like that. So if you want to watch a movie with your parents, or like your siblings, and they're not into like scary stuff, like this would definitely be a good one, because it gives you that satisfaction of like, ooh, this is creepy.
It's creepy, but it's not too much.
Yeah, it's still like chill.
And I love the actors that they cast for it. I thought the casting was really well done. I love Toni Collette.
I love Adam Scott. Love him.
United States of Terra. She was amazing in that show, and so I loved her in this. Overall, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I'm doing this now because we're going to get into spoilers, so in case you are leaving because you haven't seen it yet, I'm just giving you my feedback overall. 7 out of 10. I would see it in theaters if you can, because you'll never get that opportunity again, and I think it's really cool. But I will say I was disappointed overall. I thought it was going to be very different, and I was actually super excited through the first scene where you see Krampus and everything. but then it kind of was a letdown from there. It ended up being kind of cheesy to me. So some of the creatures, his helpers, whatever, ended up being a little childish, and I didn't like that. But again, that's kind of what plays into PG-13 and being almost a family film, if it can even be considered that, given it's a horror.
I'd probably give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think I really enjoyed it because it really reminded me of Trick or Treat, which is like one of my favorite movies of all time. Like the more toned down aspect, like the scenes where you'd see like Sam in Trick or Treat and stuff like that kind of kiddish vibe, just without the gore and like the super adult underlying veins. And then on top of that, I also got a really big Gremlins vibe from it.
Oh.
Super duper, like Gremlins, kind of like cheesy at times, but family friendly, but still creepy.
So now we're gonna get on to some spoilers, which there are some pretty much right from the get-go. So we're gonna kind of overview. So if you haven't seen it and you don't want to know what happens, definitely tune out now. Okay, so right off the bat, it was funny because Ryan and I, when it started, he's like, I wonder if someone's gonna die. He's like, do you think someone will die? And I'm like, I hope so, because I wanted it to be like that kind of movie, a horrifying movie. Right off the bat, the sister dies. And I was like, oh, we're getting started. Like, she's a kid, too. They killed a child. It wasn't like an adult.
They, like, jumped the gun.
Yeah, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, that added to that scene where you first see him and then she died. And I was like, this movie's gonna be so good.
And I liked how she died. Like, you didn't see it from, like, what killed her. You were kind of like, oh, what's it gonna be? And then it cuts to the aerial shot of the van that she's underneath and shaking. And I was like, oh, did she, like, actually die? And I was surprised, too, because I just wasn't expecting someone like her to die. Like, I thought maybe the uncle or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought, too.
Whatever. And then I was just like, oh, she's, like, really not coming back. Like, it's kind of weird that she's gone already, but then later on reappears, but technically is dead. I don't know.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to bring that up right now, the ending, and what you guys think about it, because it's kind of up for interpretation, I think. Originally, you think everyone dies, because eventually the son is the last one standing, and he's facing Krampus, and he's like, take me instead, and ends up Krampus just throwing him in the hellhole, whatever that is, and then you're like, oh my god, everyone died. And I thought it was going to end there, would have been totally happy with that. But then you see him wake up, and you're like, no,
I knew that was going to happen.
Not a dream. Yeah. Like, I was going to be pissed off if it ended up being a dream, but it wasn't. It was reality, and they were trapped in a snow globe. So how I interpreted it is that Krampus goes around stealing people's Christmases, or just like stealing people.
You know what I got the vibe of was that he makes you relive Christmas over and over again because you didn't appreciate it. Because they wake up on Christmas morning, and then you see that there's a ton of other snow globes, like, as the scene is ending, and I'm like, oh, is that like the thing? It's like you don't appreciate Christmas, so he makes you keep reliving it.
That's a good point.
In like a weird kind of like...
I like that.
I don't know. That's what I thought about it. But to be fair, you kind of ruined the ending for me because you said that you liked it.
Yeah.
Before I went to go see it, and I was like, she wouldn't like this. So I knew something was going to happen. I was like, he's like, it's like not actually a dream, like something's going to happen. And then sure enough, when like he opened his box and it was the Krampus thing, and I was like, it's going to go one of two ways. Like, one, it actually happened, and he's going to be like, oh, it did happen, like, but nobody else remembers it but me. But then all of a sudden you start hearing all of them talking, like, in the background, like, what they said during Christmas time.
Yeah,
like, and then all the families, like, has this weird look, and I was like, oh shit,
they all remember.
He's gonna pop back up or something, and then all of a sudden it zooms out, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
And I thought it was clever, too, because you never really thought about snow globes, but the poster is him holding the poster is the last scene of the movie, him holding that snow globe.
Right.
Although, I've never related to another person in the entire world other than the aunt that comes over. That
drunk.
She's literally just like talking shit the whole time, and I was like,
she's so funny.
That's right, girl. That's right.
Anyway, that is our thoughts for Krampus. Let us know your thoughts and your thoughts on the ending and what you were expecting of the movie, and if it lived up to the hype, down below. And let me know if you want me to film more reviews with him or reaction videos with him, because I think he'd be hilarious for that. So let us know down below. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.